Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to everyone. It's promptly 1 p.m. Eastern Time on our Thursday here. My name is Joshua, and I'm going to be your presenter today. We're here to talk about Church Windows Payroll for 2018, amongst some other things here, but it's all about payroll. So we're going to be here for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to be talking about what I need to discuss here, cover for the next 20 minutes till 1:20 Eastern Time. If you have questions for me, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar control panel. I'll certainly do my best to keep an eye on those, and I'll at some point be able to get to those and answer those. If it's at a point where I can keep an eye on that and look at that and answer it and it's timely, I'll try to answer it during the event. But if I don't get to those, then please stick around. I'll be happy to try to get those questions answered at the end of the event. We are going to have a video of this webinar that will be available on our website at some point here in the next couple weeks, hopefully sooner. If again you've seen what you came to see, please click exit, leave webinar, and thank you so much in advance for attending. Please keep the questions topical. We're here to talk about payroll and updating and for 2018 and preparing for that. I'm not prepared to answer questions about accounting or membership or anything else, so please keep them on topic here for payroll. Okay, so as we open payroll, we're here to, again, it's kind of a mishmash of topics here today. We don't have a document on this, at least not in one place, because we're kind of MacGyvering things together here today. So first thing we're going to talk about is our update for payroll here. So it still shows that our payroll here is listed as Payroll 2017 SR3. Our Payroll 2018 is now ready, and it will be being sent to our customers here. Well, I don't know exactly when, but either tomorrow or first thing next week on Tuesday after the Christmas holiday, we'll be sending that. If it's dire and you need it today, please call us and let the folks know who answer the phone that you need to have the Payroll 2018 sent to you right away, and one of our technicians will be happy to get that sent. Otherwise, the mass email that includes that link and all that information will be sent to you in that email either tomorrow or first thing Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and go through the update process for this today. Okay, so we're actually going to go through the installation to update to Payroll 2017 to 2018. You can install the update for the payroll module as soon as you receive it for 2018. The most important thing to keep in mind about this is you don't want to run the end of year procedure until you're finished with the 2017 tax tables. In order to because it disables those. And it enables the 2018 tax tables, once you run that end-of-year procedure. So we're going to exit all the way out of our payroll module, and I've got a nice a folder here that's upgrade from 2017, and I'm going to right-click over that and choose Run as Administrator. So it should start our install shield here. And so it's beginning the upgrade process. So we see here that it is updating it. So it's found a previous installation right here. Notice I like to point out, it may be difficult to see, but it says the install shield will update our installed version of 2017 SR3 to Payroll 2018. Would you like to continue? So of course we're going to click yes on that or next. And then basically it's just going through the gyrations to actually complete the installation of the update. It shouldn't take more than a minute or two here. This is a pretty fast computer, so it shouldn't take too terribly long. So while we're waiting for that, let me see. Looks like we got some questions came in here. We're a new client starting payroll on January 1. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to go ahead and install 17, Mark, on there in order to allow 18 to upgrade for you. So by all means, please go ahead and install the 2017 if you have that. If you're online, when will they update? Oh, Rosalind, that's that. Okay, so for Church Windows web user, they actually have the Payroll 2018 update now. It should be being updated right now. It may even be updated right now. So, by all means, open your payroll, see if it says 2018. Again, I can't stress enough, don't run the end of year procedure, which we're going to go through here momentarily, until after you've posted your final pay for 2017. All right, so we've got our finish prompt. So we click finish on that. Now, when we go to payroll, it now says version 2018. Should they then say, tax tables were updated successfully, database was converted successfully, there it is, tax files were updated successfully, and now it opens, and we are now on the 2018 payroll version. Okay? Now, again, installing the update did not run the end of year procedure. Okay? The end of year procedure is a separate step. So again, yes, I'm only going to run I'm going to run the end of year procedure in payroll that we're going to go through momentarily after I've posted my final payroll of 2017. Again, it disables those tax tables for the prior year and enables the new one. Okay, so there's a few things I'm going to go over here because we've had just a new tax bill that's been implemented recently, and there's some important things we want to communicate about that. But I want to go through these technical issues first before we come back to some of those details. So when we've posted our final pay for 2017, essentially saying we're done with those tax tables, we would go to System Administration, and right down here at the very bottom, click End of Year Procedure. Okay? So what it'll do is it'll pop up and say, running the end of year procedure will update the payroll database from the current payroll year of 2017 to the payroll year for 2018. Do we want to continue? So to complete that, we're going to click yes. The assumption is we're finished with our final pay for 17. It does its little gyrations here. And it asks me now, would I like to clear any accumulated vacation or sick pay amounts carried over into the payroll year 18? And, if your church carries over those sick vacation or sick days or hours, you would click no on this. Or if they start over each year, you would click yes. So if you don't track vacation or sick time, then it doesn't matter what you answer. So we're going to say yes. So it says end of year completed successfully. And now when we go to System Administration and System Profile, it shows our payroll year now is set to 2018. Okay? So I've now completed the end of year. When I want to go back into the prior year to run reports or to run my W2's, my 941, I will need to come into this System Profile and choose 2017 from my payroll year and simply click OK. Oh, that's not right. That's all right. Now it'll do it. There we go. So now it's run that. I just didn't have the right path in there, folks. That was my fault. But now it's there. So now when I run my reports in payroll, the payroll reports will be for 2017. Again, I have to remember that when I'm finished with the payroll year of 17, running my reports or what have you, I just have to go back into System Administration, System Profile, change my year here back up to 2018, and again click OK. And I've rolled my year forward back into the current or new 2018 year. Okay, so that's kind of a couple of the most important things that we were here to cover today. So again, a few things about the new tax bill that was just implemented earlier this week that are important that you're aware of here with regards to this. And it's important that we feel that it's important that we impart that knowledge with you since you're valuable Church Windows customers and payroll users, okay? So in essence at this point, the new tax tables for 2018 have not been officially released by the IRS or the government, okay? Those are going to probably be updated, or we're going to have those sometime in early January, sometime after the 15th of January is our guess at this point. So what's happening is basically the 2017 tax tables are simply being rolled forward into 2018, which essentially means we're going to be releasing a payroll update probably sometime in January as quickly as humanly possible after the IRS has released those or the government has released those new tax tables. So it's important that you mark or make a note for yourself or mark on your calendar to look for an email from us or to check the website under our Download Current Updates page at some point. You look for an email from us with that tax table update or with that payroll update. As soon as we have it available and released, we will make it available to you. It'll probably say something like, payroll version 2018 SR1. It'll probably be that. I don't have those details yet, but it'll probably be SR1 or something when that's updated and it is physically installed. Okay. The same is true with regards to state tax tables. Okay. The 2017 federal tax tables will be in effect until the 2018 are released in a payroll update for Church Windows Payroll, and the same is true for state. Many of the states will not issue their updated tax tables until January again, and in the meantime, it's going to roll forward with whatever your current state tax tables are until we receive those and those are updated. Okay? Very important details. And with that being said, we are strongly advising that you, with these new changes that all of us are still sort of waiting for at this point in terms of how they're impacted, we're going to recommend that you obtain a new W-4 from each one of your employees that should be collected in 2018. Okay, we still again don't have the information as to when that new W-4 form will be released. Most likely it will be sometime in March at the very earliest that we'll have that W-4 form, the new one for 2018, but again, we'll make it available to you as quickly as humanly possible. If March is indeed possibly the first available date or month when that will be available, as many of you may or may not know, if not, we're informing you this now, if I were to go into payroll now into 2017 and run my 941 form, it's still going to show, even if I'm in 18, if I go to reports, tax reports, 941 form, it's only going to show my payroll or my form for 2017, because we release a payroll update at the end of the first quarter every year that updates the 941 to the new year. You folks are still filing those forms for 2017 for the final quarter, and for the end of the year. So we can't update that too soon. Okay? So again, we will release a payroll update at the end of March here in 2018 that will update the 941 form and how it's possibly looking at this point, perhaps your new W-4 form as well. Okay? So again, the 941 form will not be updated until our end of March payroll update is released. Okay? Now the W2's, that's different. Okay? So when I want to run my W2's here, okay, that's been updated. All right? So when I want to run my W2's, this is our final topic of the webinar today, is we would go into System Administration, System Profile. I would change my payroll year back to 2017 and click OK. Then I would simply go to Reports, Tax Reports, W2 Forms. It then pops up with a list of all of the employees that it sees are due or eligible for printing a W2 for the prior year, for 2017, or the current year still. And then we click Next, and it defaults to file copy. That's basically a working copy that you can work with and look at now, preliminarily, okay, initially. When you're ready to actually print the W2s, you can't look at these folks soon enough, frankly, anticipating or fixing any problems. When we are ready to actually print the government copy, we would change it down to government copy and then choose the appropriate document style based on whatever form style the church is choosing to use. The standard IRS format, of course, is the forms that you would actually order or purchase from the IRS itself. The 4-up is the 4 per page that is not the layered forms. You can purchase those most likely from your local office supply store. And then finally, probably the most popular and common format anymore is the black and white. This is the format that many of our Church Windows users, we can print black and white to plain sheets of paper, provided we're using a laser printer or a copier printer. the others would require the forms, either the standard IRS or the 4-up. But black and white can be printed to plain paper, so long as you're not printing to a laser or an inkjet printer, but to a laser printer or a copier printer. And again, once we choose black and white, we have to print each one of the copy types separately. So when I choose black and white, I would choose copy A, click next. It will then allow me to print those to my paper. I would print those, then I would simply close out, and then I would go back. I would choose copy B for federal. Again, I can choose to show the full Social Security number or partial. Then I would choose copy B and go to next. Same thing. I would send those to plain paper, and I would cut and collate those, of course, as needed in order to be able to put them in envelopes to distribute or send or give to my employees. Same thing, close, go back, choose copy C. Now the copy C, of course, is the employee's copy, so that's going to be one employee per page. So it'll show their copy for their records with their information, and of course it's important to include the instructions with that. So I would print those and definitely make sure I included that with any of the other copies that I was submitting or providing for them. So the process simply continues ad nauseum until I'm finished with those. Okay? We're not here to talk about this today here, folks, but again, you cannot begin looking at these W-2 forms soon enough. It doesn't matter whether you have the payroll 2018. You want to look at those totals on there and get working on trying to get those W-2s fixed before you need to have those distributed by the end of January. Okay? So once we're done, we would click Finish, and that would take us back to our main payroll screen, and again, where we would click under System Administration, System Profile, and roll our year forward into 2018 so we could begin posting and paying folks in the new year. Okay? So again, folks, lots of changes anticipated for all of us, us included, as the producers of the software. If you ever have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to contact the Church Windows support staff, 800-533-5227. You can obtain that information on the website, of course, or you can send us an email through the Church Windows website as well if you have questions. Otherwise, please look for that payroll update from us either tomorrow or first thing next week on that. Okay? So, we did pretty good today. Wrapped up a couple minutes early here. Let me see what other questions we have. Correct, yes. So can I install 2018 payroll update, just don't process 2017 end of year? Mary, that's absolutely right, until you've posted your final payroll of 2017. So our 941 should be run in the payroll year 2017. Yes, Donna, that's correct. Yep, we don't have any pays posted in 2018 yet. You'll need to change that back to the payroll year 17 to run that form, correct. I am being asked, Lori, I have a payroll coming up on January 2nd. Do I just do that one and then go to 2017 and do the reports for the W-2s? That's absolutely right. Yeah, you'll post your payroll in 2018 for the new year and change your payroll year back when you're ready to run those reports, toggling back and forth between those payroll years as needed. We just don't want to make sure we don't need those tax tables for 17 for posting payroll any further. Bonnie's asking, will the federal tax table be out before January 15th? Bonnie, that's a question we don't have an answer to at this point. This was such recent legislation that no one knows exactly what the details are. I think it's being anticipated that it's going to be around the 15th of January, but we don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm sorry. We will have them available to you as quickly as we possibly can. Once we have them, we can make them available. Which option would you use to print a W-2 if you were using an inkjet printer? Could I take the W-2 on a thumb drive to copy to a copy printer? That's a great question, Carl. I think you can. We could certainly go to W-2 forms. Whoops, I got to be in the right year. That's important. So changing the year. Reports, W2 forms. Next, next, next. Whoops, not the copy type. Josh, that would help if you just slow down a little bit. File copy, black and white. Next. Yeah, you could go up to the export document and export them as probably a PDF file and take them to another printer with a laser printer on there or copier, Carl. Sure, I don't see why not. Would be the same information you're seeing on the form here pretty much. So yeah, I don't see why not. That makes great sense. Mary Lee's asking, you mentioned looking for errors to be corrected on W2s. What would we be looking for? Well, I mean, you want to make sure that, your wages are correct for federal, state, or local wages. Withholding amounts are fixed, but generally it's going to be things like wages in most cases on that, Mary Lee. You want to make sure that for pastors that the housing allowance would be reporting correctly, any other allowances that may need to be reported separately. Things like allowances frequently are not going to be reported as income, so we wouldn't frequently would not want to see those added in our, say, box 1 wages. But generally that would be those types of things. Do I wait until I run the W2s and then do the end of year? No, Lori, you can run the end of year procedure once you have the Payroll 2018 update installed and you've posted your final payroll of 2017, but then you can go back and rerun the W2s in the prior year at any time. Well, generally, Carl, the housing allowance, as we see here for our senior pastor, is added into box 14, and that's set up as part of the housing allowance when you go to the allowances file. Correct. Good question. Yeah, so when you go to data setup and allowances file, here's the housing allowance. It's checked to show separately in box 14 on the W2, and it's considered non-taxable. Again, if you're unsure about anything, folks, with regards to taxes or the legalities of something, our technicians are not tax professionals or qualified tax people. We're not going to be able to answer 95, 99% of your questions. You'll need to find out from someone who does, or go to the IRS's website and see what you can find out there about that. Yes, this will eventually, I can't say when, Andrea, this video of this presentation will be made online, available online at our website at some point. Again, even though that's not there, you may want to go to the Visit the Church Windows website right now because there's information about the prior year. So when we go to our New Year Prep and Help page here, you're probably going to find some useful information, very similar type things for this year to last year. So right here, payroll, end of year steps, there's a document and a video out there from the previous year. It's not all exactly the same, but in the meantime, it probably will help even to look at that now. Good, my pleasure, of course. Okay, folks, we've run about 2 or 3 minutes long here. I apologize for that. Sometimes those questions, kind of that happens that way. So I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for everybody. We hope it's been helpful. And please don't hesitate to contact technical support if you have any questions whatsoever, or if you need the update, right away. We're happy to get that out for you. Okay. Otherwise, look for that email from us soon. All right. Thank you all so much. If we don't hear from you, hope everybody has a very nice and merry and safe Christmas, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.